do some talk therapy about my last 24 hours, okay? So I yesterday took my son and his friend to the movies, and we went and saw the prequel to the Hunger Games. Very good. It was a very long movie. It was like 2.5 hours. But movie theaters, we sat in the recliners, which bless, that was amazing. But sometimes I get like overstimulated in the movie theater just because there's a lot going on, and then taking my 12-year-old son and his friend, and they're like cutting up and jesting and laughing, and me telling them to shh the whole time. But it was good. And then we went home, and my son and I ended up getting into an argument about something that he had said. And again, probably both of us being overstimulated, because he gets like that in the movie theater too. And it wasn't in front of his friend, it was like in my room. Okay. So anyway, so we're back and forth. Okay. Angsty, hormonal 12-year-old child in me. And so I said, okay, we're just not gonna talk about this anymore. And then I get in the bathtub because I'm trying to relax, and I went on like a super deep dive on TikTok on the the boycott on Black Friday and consumerism and capitalism, and then also the things going on in Palestine, and just so many different things, right? Because I was like curious where the state of everything was, and I also was learning about like BlackRock company and all the things that they own, and things that we shouldn't be purchasing and all this stuff, and got even more overstimulated, right? And so then my son comes back into the room to talk to me and get some like pillows or something, and then we go back into the argument situation. And once he went back in his room with his friend, I was like crying my eyes out. I had so much like pent up energy and like angst myself, and it was just like one of those like very deep cathartic cries. And I was thinking about mine and his relationship, and I was like, why is he being so argumentative and all these things? And you know, he's very mature for his age, and he's very like high intelligence, and so he always tries to like logic and analytic me and like wrap me around in these conversations, and the things that he's saying make sense. But sometimes as a parent, you know, you just have to be like, it is what it is, I'm sorry. Okay, even though I understand what you're saying, but also sometimes he thinks that he knows everything. But I mean, I was that same way when I was a kid as well. And I was just so frustrated, and I felt like a failure as a mom. I'm gonna try not to cry. Okay. And I was just like, why is this? And you know, his dad and I are not together anymore. And so sometimes it's difficult like traversing parenting with a different parent. And he's a great parent. He's a great co-parent. Okay. But we live very, very different lives and have different thoughts on life. Okay. And so I'm sure it's tough for our son as well, because we're so opposite from one another, but we love him very much and we get along great. Okay. It's just, it is what it is. And I was like, is this coming from me? Are these behavioral patterns that I'm exhibiting that he is picking up, or is this coming from an outside source, you know, like from school or social media, you know, all these things? And you know, I had to take a really deep dive into an energetic mirror and ask myself, what part am I playing in this? And I realized I am playing a part of it. Like sometimes like controlling behavior, not necessarily like controlling of him, but just controlling because I didn't feel safe and secure when I was a child or growing up. And so when I don't feel safe and secure, I get overstimulated and sometimes like overreactive. And he's the same way. And I was like, I probably need to work on that with myself. And so he doesn't deal with that like I used to deal with that, right? And I've done such a good job of healing and releasing those things, but it's still something that I'm currently working on. I don't want to pass off to him. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying the best that I can. And I would say that I'm a pretty excellent parent, but some days like that just become very like overwhelming. And so this morning we get up and I was having a conversation and we talked it out, and I said, hey, you know, I feel like both of us sometimes have to be right, and sometimes we're trying to like control the circumstances. And I was like, I need to change some of my behavioral patterns, right? And trying to show him like as an example, like it's okay to apologize, and it's okay to see when you're not the one that's behaving necessarily in the best way, talking about me, right? And so we talked out, and he was like, okay. You know how he's a 12-year-old boy, but So today I'm driving, I'm already here, but I'm driving. I went to a metaphysical store. It was a long drive. And then I'm about to go into an Egyptian art exhibit, which has a sarcophagus and a whole bunch of artifacts, which I'm super excited about. And when I was in the metaphysical store, actually Sobek, he is an Egyptian deity and he has a crocodile head. I walked up to this Egyptian section in the metaphysical store and I saw this little figurine of him and he was talking to me and I was like, oh, hopefully I see you at the exhibit. Okay. And then I'm going to go to a lantern festival. It's like this massive handmade lantern festival. They're all lit up. It's supposed to be very magical and whimsical. But on the drive here, I was feeling very heavy and sad. And I was doing things to try and lift my mood. And I put on some D&B, like EDM music, drum and bass. And it was great for a minute. And then I have to be mindful about the kind of music I listen to because it really can like fluctuate my mood. And I wasn't able to find exactly what I was looking for. And some of the lyrics were like kind of throwing me off. And then, it's so funny. This song came up from this artist I used to listen to. And it's not the best music. It's kind of objectifying a little bit towards women, but back in the day, honestly, a lot of that helped me step into my like dark feminine energy. But I was listening to it today and he said this word in there and I was like, this is not appropriate. And I was like, not me being like my grandparents, like these young people, this is not appropriate. And I turned it off, but it wasn't that. It was just like the vibe, the frequency. But anyway, so I was like, okay, what would slightly make me feel better right now? And so I put on some Koshi chimes to listen to. And that was really nice. And my thoughts weren't necessarily negative, but I was thinking, let's think about the life that we're trying to manifest. And I was like, how would I feel if I had everything that I wanted in life? And I was like, oh wait, I do have everything that I want in life. Like I was sitting in that vibration frequency as if it's like happening right now. And I was like, you know what? I would feel exactly like I do right now. I was like, you cannot strive to be blissful 24/7. I said that you will burn out. I was like, I would probably just be sad. I said, it is, sometimes the seasonal depressives get me in the wintertime because it would be dark at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And the holidays sometimes are really tough for me because my grandparents have passed away and I don't have the best relationship with the rest of my family and just things. Okay, and it was Thanksgiving the other day. And there's just a lot of heavy things that are going on in the world right now. I just launched my group mentorship program, which I'm super excited about, Quantum Evolution. Check that out. And that's a joyous celebration. But at the same time, I had been feeling like a lot of stress and anxiety around it because it's like a big undertaking. And I'm very excited to share it with everybody. But, like all the 3D things that come with it and everything. So it was just like this mixed bag of emotions. And as soon as I said, I probably just feel like I do now. Sad and heavy and dense. Okay? I started to feel better because I wasn't resisting it anymore. And I was telling those lower, quote unquote, negative vibrations, like, I love you regardless, unconditionally. And maybe we're supposed to feel sad right now because we're on the way to go have fun. And if we just clear on all that stuff out and then we get there, we'll be like fresh of mind. And then we can just enjoy the Egyptian exhibit and the Lantern Festival. Let me show you what I got at the metaphysical store. I got Eye of Horus incense. Positive vibes incense. And I got this bamboo flute for my son. Hold on. Oh, that was so loud. Okay. But I felt better. I felt more clear-minded, and I was like, it just is what it is. Like, feelings are feelings, emotions are emotions, and we can go have fun even though we're sad. Okay? So I want to share this in case it helps you. I think sometimes we equate emotions over like, oh, these are bad, these are good. They just are the way they are. And if you stop resisting them and just embrace them with love, they really appreciate that from you. And so I love you, and I hope you have a great day today.